Um, you have the floor, please. And Calvin, please go ahead.
All right, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me loud and clear? Those of us that are joining now. If you want to speak, you can unmute your mic. There's an unmute button there. You see it at the center of your phone.
Yeah, we do.
All right, awesome, good. So let me share my screen and begin. How has been the experience so far that you've been practicing? I believe we were given access to the link to where the videos are, right? Yeah. So I want someone to share his or her experience. Can you hear me? So far so good. What have you been able to implement what you have watched on the videos in the past 5 days? I think we're about how many on the call now? About five or six of us rather. Who has been able to come up with something? Anyone?
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay. Good luck. Good luck. I can hear you. Good luck. I can hear you.
Okay. I watched about 5 videos, even though you posted 4 minimum, and it was interesting. Um, I was able to get something from the five plugin those videos taught me about. Yes,
Okay.
and because when I got further, I appreciated the way you use the eliminator. I think that was where I stopped. The way you use
Okay.
the eliminator. Elementor, I mean to say. Sorry, I'm just learning.
I mean,
I'm a student, please. I was able to appreciate it. And
amazing.
I was also able to know that the WP optimizer should come last.
Yes, it should come last. Very important.
Yes, it should come last. I think I just went through the plugin. Actually, I went to call my daughter. I was like, "Come, we have to learn this thing together."
Together.
Yeah, I think that is all I can say concerning it. I was able to watch 5 videos, and I felt, but I I know I will soon start doing something. I already know I want to start designing my own website now.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
That's
So
all I
much
can
now.
say for. Pardon?
Okay, I think thank you very much, Mr. Good luck. Let's see
Thank
another
you.
person. You can mute your mic. Okay, let's listen. I think
Okay.
Rosie Peters wanted to speak. I think Rosie Peter wanted to make a comment before Mr. Goodluck.
Hello, good evening, Calvin. Thank
Yes,
you
good
for
evening,
my
Rosie.
opportunity. So I was able to watch, I think, 2 videos thus far. I saw I don't know, I pronounce it well, Winscribe, I think something
Yeah.
like that. And then I think it was about VPN. I was still trying to figure out what it was that you're doing. I could have to use it to download, or is it browse? I can't really place it. I'm still trying to learn. So I've not been able to practice because I really want to understand first before I start, following what you're
Okay.
doing. That's why it's been sham.
Awesome. Well done. Well done so far.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. So who else have been able to implement the knowledge, or who else has gone through the video? You can share with us your feedback so far before we continue with the theoretical aspect today. All right. So I don't think anyone is speaking. Try as much as possible to implement what's on the video. Very important, because it's one thing for you to watch a video course, or it's one thing for me to train you, or it's for one thing for us to give you a link, and then it's another thing for you to go ahead to implement everything that is there, right? It's very important that we practice the knowledge that is being shared and passed across to us. Good. So let me go on with the videos. So WordPress is a content management system that allows you to host and build websites. I want to be very sure. So I want someone to kindly unmute your mic and tell me if you can see my screen, because I'm using my smartphone to present. If you can see my screen, kindly unmute your mic and let me know. Can you all see my screen?
I can't see your screen, sir.
Oh, interesting. Well, let me try it again. Share screen. Let's see. All right, what about now? Can you see my screen?
Yes, it's visible now.
Amazing. All right, thank you very much. Thank you.
I can see your screen now.
All right, thank you. All right, so let's get into this session. Everyone should kindly mute your mic so that you don't keep back. Kindly mute your mic. So good. So WordPress is a content management system that allows you to build and host websites. It also contains a plugin architecture and a template system, so that you can customize any website to fit your business, your blog, online store. And so far, it has been shown that over 40% of websites on the internet are built with WordPress. Now, what exactly is a theme? Now, your WordPress theme controls how your website looks. It lets you personalize your site without requiring any special knowledge. WordPress enables you to personalize your site. It enables you to it gives your site a structure. And there are various themes. We have various themes. First one here is Astra. The first one I listed here is Astra. So Astra is one theme that is very, very wonderful. I think it's Astra I used on the practical sessions that was sent to us. Yes. So Astra is one theme you can use to build a beautiful website. And that theme we have is Ocean WT theme. Ocean W theme is an elegant and simple WordPress theme which is designed specifically for blogs, for magazines, restaurants, online store, and fitness websites. And that team we have is Hestia, which is a free multipurpose WordPress theme. Good. Now, before we go into plugins, which is the next thing, two of the themes I used for almost all of my projects are Astra and another theme called Cadence. Two of the themes I use for most of my projects so far are Astra, this particular Astra here, and another one called Cadence. And if you check through my portfolio, you will discover that I've built many websites, right? Quite a number of websites. Two of these themes are what I've been using so far for the projects I work on. Now, another important thing we need to understand when we are building websites using WordPress are called plugins, WordPress plugin. So a WordPress plugin is a software that adds new functionality to your WordPress site. Your WordPress plugin adds new functionality to your WordPress site. The first example we have here is called WooCommerce. WooCommerce. So it comes with helpful features that allows you to create an online store. That's what WooCommerce does. If you want your website to be a website where people can come in and purchase products, or if you want your website to be a website where you can sell the products you have to audience online, WooCommerce plugin performs that functionality. Good. And that plugin we have, very important, is called Updraft Plus. There are thousands and thousands of plugins on the plugin store. If you go through the course, you see a place where I explained and I showed you how to install WordPress plugins. Another plugin, very important, we should take note of, is called Updraft Plus. So it allows you to set up automatic backups and safely store them on remote locations like Google Drive and Dropbox. What this means is that after you have finished building your website, it's important that you back the website up, because we don't know, or you won't know, what unseen circumstance will happen to the site in the future. You don't know whether the website will end up crashing due to one reason or the other, due to huge amount of traffic. When I talk about traffic, I mean huge number of people coming to visit a site. There are sometimes you may build a site and when you get the web hosting from the hosting company, if normally when we get web hosting, there is a certain amount of people that can log on to that website at the same time. If you get the hosting that can only accommodate maybe 50,000 people at the same time, and 100,000 people now come to that site at the same time, the site may end up crashing. You get? So these plugins, these backup plugins, help you to back your site up, so that if there's any unseen circumstance like huge number of people coming to visit the website at once, or maybe the website got hacked or virus affected the website, you can easily restore the clean backup which you initially did when you created the website. Am I communicating? So that's where the Updraft Plus plugin comes in. Then the next plugin we have is called WP Forms. WP Forms is a very easy plugin to use. Basically, what it does is that it enables you to create forms on your website, more like contact forms. So you want people to have the ability to put in their name, their surname, where they are chatting with you from, and you want them to be able to put in or send you a message through your website. That's where the WP Forms come in. Maybe if you have gone to certain website and you go to their contact page, you see a place to put in your name, your surname, your email address, and the message you want to send to the admin of the website. So that's basically a form. So with WP Forms, you can do that on your website. Good. Any questions moving so far? You have a question Let me go back to the chat and see. Are you following? So far, what I've been saying, has it been making sense? Anyone, you can unmute your mic and speak. All right, Abdullahi, go ahead. Abdullah, are you saying something?
It's Victor. I said it's making absolute sense.
All right, wonderful. Thank you very much. Good. I can see who is speaking. Victor is speaking. Can you mute your mic, Abdullahi? I can see Victor. Victor, I'm not hearing you. Can you turn off your camera too?
Okay.
All right. Yeah, Victor, were you saying something? We didn't hear you.
No.
All right. Okay, seems as though there's no question. So everyone should kindly mute their mics so that we can have a good stability. All right, moving ahead. Can you mute your mic, please? Very important. Or if you can mute the person's mic that is unmuted from your end, so that there won't be feedback from my own end.
Tell me bring my earpiece. It is on top the cardboard there.
If you are there, you can mute. Just right click on their names and you see the mute button. All right, great. So the next thing we're looking at is called domain. So we've explained what domains are. A domain is the address of your website that people type in the browser URL bar to visit your site. A domain is the address of your website that people type in the browser URL bar to visit your website. For example, you want to have a domain name called www.calvin.com, right? Or www.yourname.com. That is what we call a domain. So we have various domains. We can look at a domain as the location of a website on the internet. So in this context, when someone goes to his browser and types in www.canva.com, what the browser will do is that it's going to go and search the entire internet to find where information about the company Canva has been stored. When it finds that exact location, it now presents to you the information about Canva that Canva have created on, Canva.com. Canva is a company, right? Canva is a company. So basically, a company can basically buy a domain name from any of the web hosting company that was listed on the previous slide. And when you purchase that domain name, you now have the ability to put in information about the business or the brand, so that eventually when people come to their browser and then, put in the domain name of your organization, the browser is going to present to them information about the organization. So these are various domain names we have: www.facebook.com, www.pixels.com, www.qservers.com, and so on and so forth. And we have walked you all through the process of buying a domain name, right? If you want to buy a domain name, you can, test through this domain name through this web hosting company called QServers. So practically, you go to www.qservers.ng and you will see a place, just like you have on this slide, to search for the exact domain name you want to register. So the example I used here was this domain name called www.paulsamuel.ng. Are we together? So if you want to use a domain name, the domain name, you can look at the domain name as more like a, like a phone number, so to say. Two people cannot have the same phone number. So that's how domain name also works. Two different organizations cannot have the same domain name. So if somebody have taken the domain name already, and that person cannot come and make use of that domain name. So basically, when you want to buy a domain name, the first thing you do is to check any of the web hosting company for the availability of that domain name. If it's available, then you can purchase it. Or if it's not available, then you need to change it to something else so that you can be able to use it. Good. Now we have what we call web hosting companies or web hosting. So web hosting is the type of internet hosting service that hosts websites for clients. That is, it offers the facilities required for clients or for them to create and maintain a site and makes it accessible on the World Wide Web. To explain this better, you can consider the web hosting as a storage facility, or you can consider that as a facility or as a system that that stores all the information about the website. So when I now go and whose mic is unmuted, kindly mute your mic, or if your mic can mute it for me, and very important that we don't get distracted. Abdullahi mic is still unmuted. Just right click on the name and you will see the mute button. Good. So let me share my screen again. Sorry for that break. It's causing a feedback from my end. All right, so we have different web hosting companies. Number one, we have QServers. QServer is a web hosting company. And that web hosting company, we have Hostinger, we have Bluehost, we have DreamHost, HostGator, GreenGeeks, SiteGround. So you can use any web hosting company. The two web hosting companies I use to build websites for clients are QServers and Namecheap. Those are the two web hosting companies I use. So anyone that works fine by you, right, is good. Anyone you choose, is based on your discretion or decision. But those are the two I make use of. Wow. I have a feedback in here. Who is still talking? All right, now purchasing a web hosting plan. On this slide, I use QServers as a case study. So to power your WordPress software and to make your site accessible when someone visits your domain name, you need a web hosting. So with a web hosting, you are basically renting a space on a computer to power your website. So the images below shows the web hosting plans on www.qservers.ng. So I took a screenshot of what the different rates or what the different pricings are. This is an old screenshot. The prices now they have increased. For some of us that are from Nigeria, QServers is a Nigerian-based web hosting company. So that's why you see N in front of each of the pricings here. Right. So for something like Namecheap, which is a United States-based web hosting company, you're going to see dollars in front of the the pricing list. Do you understand? So basically, two things you need primarily when you are building your website. You need your domain name and you need your web hosting. Sometimes you also need the security, but most web hosting company offers the security. That's the SSL certificate. SSL certificate keeps your website secure. So they offer the SSL certificate for free. But two things primarily you need to purchase when getting a domain name. You see the web hosting and the domain name. Perfect. So we're seeing definition of terms. The final thing I'm explaining here is content. What is content? Content has to do with the text, visual, or audio content that is made available online. So any information you view on your smartphone, on social media, on your browser, those are all what we refer to as content. You get. Now there are resourceful websites I listed here. Normally, before building any website, what I do is that I go to other sites to get inspiration from them, so that I will have an idea of what to come up with for the project I'm working on. So the website I visit to get website inspirations, one of it is Team Forest, and another one is awards.com. Go to website to access or to get images, free images. When you're building a website, when you're building a website, you need to use images on the website you're working on. Right? So the website I used to get free images online, I listed them here on splash.com, pixels.com, and also pixabay.com. Another website I used to get illustrations. Website I used to get illustrations from, we have ondraw.com, storyset.com, and the other ones here. For icons, if I want to use icons on a website, flaticon.com, and also iconfinder.com. Then for typefaces or the fonts to be used, I want the text to look like, you can use dafonts.com, .google.com to access varieties of fonts you may want to use on your site. Another important thing we need to take note of here is the difference between WordPress.com and WordPress.org. Your own site. Basically, you purchase your own web hosting service, then you will install. When it comes to WordPress.com, it is WordPress.com that takes care of. Basically, you register for an account and you start building when you're using WordPress.com. There's a difference between WordPress.org and WordPress.com. WordPress.com is limited. You can take your smartphone and create a simple blog using WordPress.com, but it is limited. You don't have the flexibility of creating almost any kind of site that you want. But with WordPress.org, WordPress.org is a platform that gives you the ability to install plugins, to install themes or templates, so that you can customize it to suit your taste. Whether it's an e-commerce site you're working on, whether it's a blog you're working on, whether it's a brand website you're working on, you have the flexibility to customize your site to suit your taste. But WordPress.com doesn't give you that flexibility. Right? When you're building a WordPress site with WordPress.org, you have the ability to install plugins, to install templates, right? To install or customize any kind of site to suit your taste. And you need a laptop to do that. But with WordPress.com, there's a huge limitation that come with it. It's easier to set up, but the limitations to the website you can build with it, that's WordPress.com, is very high. Yeah. Now, what are the features of WordPress.org? Number one, simplicity. It makes it possible for you to get online and start publishing quickly. Flexibility. So with WordPress, you can create any type of site you want. A personal blog, a photo blog, a business website, a portfolio website, a government website, a magazine or news website. You can mention them, you can name them, right? With WordPress.org, you can do that. It has an easy theme system, and it also has a community where people who use the technology contribute their knowledge. Good. So these are resources I will recommend to us. These are YouTube channels. YouTube channels I recommend to us, so that beyond the training you will take at the course of this week, you have access to these YouTube channels for further learning. When I started learning web design, this first YouTube channel was what I majored on, or I majored in, by Freddy Coppershock. So when you click on that link, it take you directly to the person's channel, so that you have access to what the content are on each and every of on each of their YouTube channels. You are going to find helpful videos that will be of guide to you, from Freddy Coppershock to Tyler Moore to Daryl Wilson, so that beyond the training that you're receiving from us, you have more resources to practice with. Yeah. Okay. Any question? I've come to the end of my presentation. Any question? Any question? Any question? It's time for question and answer. Before we call it an evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Well done, sir. All right. Thank you so much for your lecture, sir. Really appreciate. Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you clearly.
Okay. I wanted to ask a question, but not from today's class.
Okay, please go ahead.
All right, sir. On the videos I've started watching, actually. Actually, I've watched even up to video 4, but my question is on the Windscribe, that is the VPN. I wanted to really understand the function of the VPN, as in what role does it really play when we, in terms of building a website. I know we normally change our location though, but I want to really understand its function or the role it plays in terms of building a website. And then I don't know,
Okay.
does it also offer internet connection? Because I saw that they gave me 10 gigabyte free PC, so I already understand.
All right, good question. Now let me answer that question. To answer this, initially when I discovered what's known of that site, Pantheon.io is the platform that we use to gain access to free domain name and free web hosting to practice. So I think 1 year ago or 2 years ago, when I got familiar with that platform, one could access that platform without a VPN. But as time went on, I don't know what happened. They now restricted people's location that is set to Nigeria from using the website. Do you get? So for us to effectively use the website now, we need a VPN to change our location, so that the website will not see us as people from Nigeria. Maybe they did that because hackers or spammers are using their products for things that are fraudulent. Maybe. Do you get? So the reason why we're using the VPN on Pantheon.io is because we want to get access to their website. Because if you don't use the VPN, right, there will be no way we could be able to get a free domain name and free web hosting to practice. And the gigabytes you got is to explain that in a clear term is this. When you browse the internet, you make use of data, isn't it? So that 10 gigabyte you saw there is the reason why you saw it there is because when you turn it on, when you turn the VPN on, you have access to use 10 gigabytes. You have access to browse content that are worth 10 gigabytes. So what this means is that within 1 month, you have the ability to use their VPN. But if it reaches 10 gigabytes, if what you have browsed about reaches 10 gigabytes, you won't be able to use the VPN again. And rarely has that happened. Right? Or how many gigabytes have you used so far, Mr. Emmanuel?
think I've not even I've not used up to one. I think I still have like 9.80 something or so.
Yeah. So you have ample, you have ample space. After 1 month, it resets automatically. So the reason why you're using the VPN there is just because you want to have access to Pantheon.io. There's no any other thing attached to
Okay.
the reason why we are using the VPN there.
All right, sir.
Hope I
Thank you
answered your
very much.
question, Mr. Manuel.
Yes, sir, you did. Thank you very much, sir.
Good. Any other person with a question, you can unmute your mic and ask your question.
Okay, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
My name is Nanchon.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you. So I wanted to find out, you mentioned something about storage and security. Now, this WordPress you are talking about, you said is already developed, and you can use it to develop your website and customize it the way you want. So my question is, if you are developing the website or you have a website already created with this WordPress, when it comes to storage and backup, I don't know if you can hear me.
Clearly, I can.
Yes, when it comes to storage and backup, you said you need to back up some of the documents. Does that platform, the WordPress, provide an avenue where you can just back up your documents or your whatsoever you are using to create the website, or you need a special you need another maybe you need something else to be able to back up those information, or is the person developing or creating the website for you going to back it up in his own website or in his own backup device or something? How do you do that? That is one when it comes to backup. Then the issue of security. Now you said you can have access to the WordPress and develop it. So when it comes to security, how do you get those security? Are there free security? Is it plugins you call them for the website, or you have to purchase it? You have to buy it or something like that.
Yeah. All right. Okay, I think you have two questions, right? Excuse me.
Yes.
All right. Okay. The first one, you spoke about backing up of the website. Now, if you go through the video
Sorry.
recordings, yes, backing up the story. If you go through the video practical sections on this, in the section where I explained what plugins are, right? You notice, you see that I went to the place where people can install free plugins from. And one of the free plugin, I'm not sure if I explained that or not, but it should be there. One of the plugin I spoke about is Updraft. There are many plugins that you can use to back up your website, but the one I explained is called Updraft. So after you have finished building your website, maybe you are building a website for a business. You have made the home page, the about page, the contact page, and the services page. And then you want to back the website up. What you simply do is to go and install a plugin that can back up the site. And one of such plugins is Updraft Plus. So when you install the plugin, you can decide to, please mute your mic. Whose mic is unmuted? Mute it. What you can do is to go further and then back up the website. You can back the website up to your Google storage, to your Google Drive, or you can download a backup of the website to your personal computer through that plugin. Do you get? So that if for some reason something happens and the website gets crashed, You can easily, install a clean version of the WordPress on the site again and restore the backup, restore the storage back to the website, and then to now be as though nothing happened with the website before. Why? Because you backed the site up. I hope this answered your question. Hope this
Yeah.
answered your first question.
Yeah. So and the aspect of the storage, like, is there a limitation to the storage abilities you may have? Because you are saying that, for example, when you have um when a website is developed for maybe customized in such a way that you cannot have two persons visit the site at a time, or that you is something that is meant for, let's say, 10,000 or 1,000 users, and you
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
more people visiting the site.
Yeah.
You mentioned something like that. So is there a way you can just create a site that no matter the number of persons that are visiting
Yeah.
the site, nothing happens to it? And
Yes.
will that incur extra costs, or everything is provided for within the WordPress environment?
Oh, good question. So let me share my slide again. Let me share my slide again. If you check this portion, if you go to qservers.ng, you see the different web hosting pack they have. The first one they have here is starter pack. Starter pack comes with 2 GB storage and many other information down there. And the business pack comes with 10 GB storage. So depending on the size you want, so the more size, the higher the cost of purchasing. Do you understand? So the truth is, one cannot determine exactly how many people will be visiting his or her site when he just builds it. So if a person starts with the purchases the starter pack from Q servers or from any web hosting you are working with, you are using, and then you later discover that, okay, my audience are increasing and more people are visiting my site, you can easily upgrade it to another web hosting pack. So depending on the I start building with the starter pack, because one might not be able to find come to this site. So eventually in the future, when we discover that, okay, more traffics are coming to the website, to upgrade to another pack that will accommodate more people. So the lesser the storage capacity you want to use, lesser the purchasing price, and the higher the pack you want to make use of, right? The higher the price. About the security, SSL. So SSL is basically what secure. Maybe you have come across sites where instead of just HTTP your website.com, you see something like HTTPS. On the HTTP is basically the system. And what I said earlier is that most times in the web hosting companies, main name and web hosting service and Namecheap, they usually offer people who use sell certificates. So what web hosting and the domain name from them, they give you just like a bonus, the security service for your website. So automatically, instead of HTTP HTTP or you HTTPS. Hope I answered your question.
To some extent.
This thing you through any of the recordings?
Hello, your voice is cracking.
Okay,
I don't
sorry.
know if I'm the only one that.
Have you gone
I don't know
through
if
any
I'm the
of
only
the
person.
recordings?
I don't know if I'm the only. I don't know if I'm the only person that is hearing your voices. When you say something, the thing will hang, and then I don't.
Is it cracking till now? Can you hear me clear now?
Yeah, I can hear you. So I was. Can you safely upgrade from? Maybe you can change from a hosting company to another hosting company without any problem.
I don't understand. Can you repeat?
Let's say you mentioned some of the hosting companies, right? If you want to host the website. So if you start with company A hosting company, then maybe you are not satisfied with the hosting services. Can you change to another hosting company without any problem?
You can, but it's not
Or
really advisable.
once
It's
you
not
start
advisable.
with one, you have to
You,
continue with that particular one.
but it's not advisable. The reason why it's not advisable is because hosting company to another web hosting company, it takes. So that's why it's very essential, right? Do your research on what. So I recommended the. See, I told us the one the and Namecheap I used to build websites, and
Actually, hearing you. The thing is breaking.
my network. I don't know why the network is breaking. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I don't. But I will hear the first one, then the second and third may be hanging. So
Be hanging. Okay.
I don't know.
So what I'm saying is, your research before you build a website on where hosting company will serve you. Or I spoke about two web hosting companies I use. I make use of Namecheap, Q servers. Those are the two web hosting companies fast. Now, the reason why it is not always transfer your website to another is because it takes a long period for your site to be transferred from one web. Do you get?
It takes what?
It may take your site to be to
Sorry,
another.
am I the only one that is experiencing this the cracking? Maybe if I'm the only one, maybe it means maybe the issue is from me. I don't know if others can hear you clearly.
If someone can you hear me clearly, or am I cracking?
Yeah, you're cracking a bit.
I can hear our teacher clearly.
Yes, if I'm also not hearing clearly, but my internet is not so great. So I guess if others can hear you clearly, then when the recording is provided, he can get back to what you said.
Did you say?
Yeah, I was saying that my internet is also not so good, so that's why I wasn't also hearing you properly. But if others have been hearing you, I think he can listen to the recording
The
later.
recording, right? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, see you girls. Yeah, I think he can listen to the recording later.
Okay. So let me just reinforce for some of us that will listen to. It's not advised to always transfer in company always. It can take a long period of 5 days to another website. Do your research well. Over the years, I've used to build website, and I is from them. So that's the answer to basically make use of web hosting company. So any other okay. So over to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Calvin. I think there is no more question. Is there anybody that has any question? Okay. So thank you so much for today's class, and thank you to everyone that attended as well. I'm very happy about the participation. I hope that will continue till the end of the course. So we should remember that the assignments are to be turned in tomorrow at 23:59 p.m. and that there is also the what's it called now? The capstone project is to design your own websites, which could be portfolio websites, like you could do like probably CV of your like your CV or resume or whatever. Or it could be like you're creating a website for your company or your product or something like that, but you have to submit something. Yeah, so that's the logistics of the course. And if you have any question,
you can post it on the WhatsApp group chat or on the Telegram group chat. I think Telegram would be better since Calvin is there and he can always answer a WordPress question. So thank you to everyone and have a good night's rest. Good night.